Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I saw someone ask the other day in my protein video, where do gorillas get their protein? They don't eat any meat, and actually that's not true. They eat insects and things, but we don't even need to cover that part of it because not all of them necessarily do. But they ask where do they get their protein and how are they so massive and huge without eating any dedicated protein source? And that came up in a conversation with my girlfriend and some friends the other day. And so I did a little digging for them right there. We did some stuff on the computer. We dug up numbers real quick at various zoology sites. And the answer is going to be pretty interesting. I knew a lot of this, but I was looking up the exact numbers. I knew about their digestive tract difference between that and humans, which is one reason you can't compare humans to gorillas. But I went to find their actual caloric needs and percentages and breakdown of their average diet in the wild. And what I stumbled across was actually pretty informative. So let me just share with all of you the answer to that. Number one, a fully grown male silverback gorilla has a TDEE, which is total daily energy expenditure, of around 8,000 calories per day. That's what he needs to maintain his weight when fully grown, the big male gorilla. So, the zoologists and other people have looked at have determined is that in the wild, their diet is approximately 17% protein, which puts their protein intake at around 320 to 350 grams a day. If you look at that in terms of kilograms, that's actually very much what I recommend for strength athletes, what many people recommend for strength athletes, because the male silverback is about 220 kilos. So his intake needs to be right around anywhere between 220 up to about 350 if you follow the protein intake guidelines that I gave people for strength athletes and serious professional athletes and lifters. So his actual intake is on par with the recommendations based on body weight of strength athletes. So that's really interesting that that's what he gets in the wild. Now the difference is you wouldn't be able to sustain yourself on a gorilla's diet. And that's a big difference between them and humans. Number one, they have much larger grinding teeth to grind up all the really fibrous vegetables and foods and things that they eat every day so that the fiber gets pre-broken down a lot more through their chewing. And then they have a digestive system with better ruminant and things in it so that it can actually break down the cellulose and fiber. And that's a key point there. The gorilla gets a lot more calories from fruits and vegetables than you as a human do. They can actually take the fiber that is in there and break it down and digest it better. Also, on top of that, because they break it down more, a lot of humans don't absorb all the protein from like cruciferous and fibrous vegetables and plants and leaves and things. We get some of the protein. We get 50 to 70% of the protein when we consume it. The gorilla, because he's able to break down all the fiber around it, digest the fiber and things like that, he is able to absorb most, if not all, of the protein from it. So the gorilla can actually get more protein from the plants than you or I as a human can. Because actually plant proteins are complete proteins. That's a myth. And the vegans and stuff are right on that when they do say that actually a lot of leafy green vegetables have just as high of an amino acid profile as meat does. They are complete proteins. They're not incomplete proteins. That's a myth. The issue is that the fiber and some of the things that some people are trying to call anti-nutrients in there block the absorption of a lot of things from these plants. And so you won't be able to get as much protein out of the actual plants as the gorilla can. And also because of all of the fiber that you can't break down and digest in order to try to get the protein intake the gorilla gets from the food, your stomach would be completely distended all the time. You would actually cause damage to your digestive system over time by consuming such massive amounts of bulky raw greens and things, because our digestive tracts are not suited to eat massive amounts of raw forms of this in the volumes that a gorilla would, even in comparison to our body weight. Most of you are not going to eat 10 pounds or 12 pounds of green vegetables a day. Your GI tract couldn't handle it. It would be dangerous for you. On top of the fact that you wouldn't even absorb all the calories from it, because remember, the gorilla is not only getting more protein from it, they're getting all that fiber absorbed into like short chain fatty acids, which is what the GI tract breaks them down to in humans also. But gorillas are far, far more efficient from it. They're getting it probably 3 times as many calories, if not 4 times as many calories from the fiber that you could. So to make comparisons between humans and gorillas is just silly. And not only that, but even if we could do it, we would have to sit around eating all day. The gorilla, because of the nature of the food they eat, the large bulkiness of the amount of chewing it requires, the gorillas spend approximately a third of their day, so probably 8 hours or more every day, just consuming food and picking food to eat. So they spend all day eating, just like a cow does in the field. So you can't really make valid comparisons between a gorilla and a human there, even though we're fairly close relatives. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.